Hello, welcome. I am Clara Jo. Today, we are going to actually talk about past lives. Um, so, before we get started, just going to let you know a little bit about myself if you've never seen me before. I am Clara Jo Weiss. I am started my journey, I guess, at age 5 when my grandfather came to me at the foot of my bed as a child, very scared and didn't know how to handle it. Luckily, I'm a third generation psychic medium, so it was easier for my family to kind of help me along in the situation and make me feel more comfortable. I was pretty lucky in that aspect. Some people that don't have family that know about this, or they could have put me in in padding and sent me to the loony bin, and if they didn't realize that I was actually um, being able to see, hear, feel all that psychic ability so much. So um, if you are here, I want to say welcome, because we're going to have a little bit of fun, and I'm going to discuss about past lives, give you some collective readings. And then also, if you would like to have a reading yourself, you can actually do so, and I'll tell you how to do that. If this is your first time, why don't you say hi? Because I won't know you're here if you do not just say hi. So put that in oh, well, Willow's here. Willow wants to learn too about past lives. So she's going to come join me, hanging out with me for a little bit. Um, in fact, I've got her hair in my lipstick, which is causing a lot of problem here. Oh, and it's itchy. So yeah, just put down hello. Let me know where you're from. Just kind of get some information here, and then we can discuss some things. If you wanted to write something out, ask me questions there, you can do so. Also, let me see if I can get down at the bottom, scrolling past. We actually, if you'd like to book a reading during this session, all you need to do is go to hipsy.com/Clara_Jo, and you'll be able to pick a couple different things there and pay for those. And then I can actually do live readings for you and your question right live as I'm sitting here. So that's going to be fun to do. It's a new platform that I'm doing, and very excited about having all this abilities and technology for me to do this. All right, so let's start out with explaining exactly what past lives, what am I talking about? Believe it or not, we live in a multi-dimensional situation. So even if I say past lives, past, present, and future are all the same. Kind of blow your mind when you think about it, right? So when we're talking about past lives, we've lived lots of lives. We've lived lives here on Earth. We've lived lives in other planets. We've encountered things. We've stayed on the other side, which is like a holding pattern. It is not quite what heaven you would think of. It's more just kind of like a place where souls will get together. They have things they need to learn. And so they'll discuss with others on what they want to do when they come back. So they kind of let everybody know what they are planning on doing and how they want to make things work. Hello once again. If you would like to say hi and put your name and let me know where you're from, that would be awesome. We are talking about past lives and exactly how it affects what our current reality is. So if we think of our like timelines all on a line, right? And it's actually more to the side of us than up and down. It's kind of like a vast array of different dimensions, so to speak. And our past lives, we have lived many, and we decide what we want to do and how we want to experience the life that we're going into. What is it that our soul needs to learn to expand, to grow, to get to a higher state, right? Because that's all we are doing is we're actually in a holographic kind of like movie, and we are here to learn and to experience. That's what our life is about. It's experience. And so we're experiencing different things that we are wanting to learn, and we have decided that we wanted to learn before we even come here. And so we have this kind of bond with other people, with places, with experiences, with what we want to do. And we kind of write this all down and say, okay, I want to experience this. I want to learn that. I want to meet up with some friends that I've had in in other past lives. You have soul families that go from one experience to the other with you. And so they kind of come along with you as well. So when we are experiencing these, we have already kind of set that into motion. When we come here, when we actually have transitioned back into a current reality or a Matrix movie, so to speak, we are coming back in. We lose the ability to know that we have done any contracts, that we have decided we were going to do a certain experience. Even our purpose is kind of shed from that. And that is to help us navigate through our experience without reservation, without predetermining our own fate, which we have already done in before we came here. But we don't, if we already knew what we were doing, excuse me, and we already knew, well, at this age, I'm going to meet this person, I'm going to have this many children, I'm going to do that, life would not be as interesting, right? So we go through this unknowing part, keeping away from what we would have already, or you would think that we should know, so that we can experience this. We have free will. We can go off on different paths, and then, a lot of times we come back onto our paths. And that is to help, once again, that our experiences are authentic and that our soul can actually learn and grow and get these experiences that they need. So when we talk about past lives, what I do is, because I'm a psychic medium, I will get messages, but I will actually get a picture in my mind for you that shows like a movie, right? So I might see a scene, I might see, exactly what's happening. You might be, if you're a woman now, you might have been a man in your past life. You might have been another woman in your past life, but I'm going to know that by your energy, right? Your essence. Who you are never changes. Your gender might change from place to place, but your essence is the same. Your soul is the same, traveling from place to place, or lifetime to lifetime. So that is you, your authentic self. So when I get this movie, that it really is, it's like I'm watching a movie in my mind's eye, and I can see exactly what's happening and how you're feeling and what your thoughts are. You could say I'm kind of like you, looking at you from a distance, but I can still feel what's going on, and your decisions that you're making and how you're feeling at the moment. And are you happy? Are you sad? Are you in despair? What is your thought process, that all kind of comes into play as well. And when I go into these, I always say the exact same thing. When I'm looking at this information, my intention is always to find out, what is it? What past lives are bleeding into this lifetime that might be causing you problems, that might be having a hold on you, that might be influencing you, that is not in a positive direction. So I want to bring, or something that you really need to know from past lives in this lifetime now that is significant for you at this moment in time that you need to know. So it might not be that it's negative. It might just be that it's significant in that you need to know this for a specific purpose or for your clarity. It might be that you need to know why you do a certain thing. Well, you've done it in your past life. I hear it all the time when I'm reading a past life or letting someone know exactly what's happening in this past life. They'll go, wow, that makes perfect sense of what's going on right now. I'm having the same experience right now. And that is because a lot of times we relive it if we didn't learn from it, right? We keep going over it until we get it right. And so it's important for us to take a look at that. Take a look at what has happened before in your past lives and see if it makes sense in this life for you, either in the positive or the negative, or just for a realization so that you understand the way your life is going and why it's going that certain way. It's also a confirmation for you to know that you are going in the right direction with your purpose in life, right? Because a lot of times we get into a situation where we just feel, I don't know if I'm going in the right direction. Things are not working for me correctly. So what's going on? So past life is going to help kind of pinpoint different things for you, right? So we'll take a look at, and I usually do two or three past lives, and there's always a correlation between all of them. So there might be a same theme that happens, right? Or there might be something that keeps a person keeps coming up, or a situation keeps coming up, or something like that, so that you know that this is significant. And then when you look at this lifetime, it's like, oh, yeah, well, yeah, that makes sense because I'm having problems with that right now, right? Or I wondered why I was constantly thinking about this. So it also deals with phobias, right? So, I will tell you my phobia is I do not like to be in deep water where I can't put my feet down, right? I panic. If I'm in water and I can't put my feet down and my head is not out of the water, I start panicking. I've got to have my feet firmly on the ground where there's water. And I don't want anything underneath me. I don't want to be with my head under the water. No, it can't be. So in my past lives, I have had many experiences where I have drowned. And so therefore, that fear of drowning, or that fear of making sure my head stays above water, is the reason that I'm doing that now in this lifetime, is because I had all those experiences in my past life, right? One of my past lives, I will tell you, I saw myself in this, it looked like Ireland, could have been Scotland. And I was in this little cabin, and there was a little window at the cabin, and it was, the window was like right in front of like a stove, an old fashioned stove. And there was a great big pot, and I was stirring it and making herbs and medicines and things like that to help other people. And so basically I saw myself as a person that people would bring me goats and other farm animals and things like that for exchange of maybe some medicine that I had made or some kind of herbal thing that would help them. And so this exchange of energy, so to speak, bartering system is kind of what was happening. And that went on for quite a while. And outside of the different this little cabin with all of this green grass, it was really beautiful, picturesque kind of thing. And over to my left of this cabin was this body of water, really beautiful, right? And so I remember seeing this one day where a bunch of people came storming at me, thinking I was a witch, which they grabbed me and they took me off to hang me. And they thought I was dead, but I hadn't died yet. And they took me off and threw me in the water, which I drowned because I was tied up and I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything to escape. And so therefore I drowned. That was one episode. Another episode is I was on a ship going out to sea, and it was a cargo ship. I clearly know that I was in a hull. It was one of those old ships that you kind of would see, like Christopher Columbus type of ships, those type of big ships, right? And down in there was this like cargo area, and I saw these wooden barrels and things like that, right? So there was lots of things like that, and I was down in that area, and the ship sank. There was a battle, the ship sank, and I drowned. So there was a couple of occasions, and there's a couple other ones that I can remember, but it all reflects on why I do not like to be in deep water, that I start to panic if I don't have my feet firmly planted on the bottom, and that my head is out. So even if I try to swim, and believe me, I have had multiple times where people have tried to teach me how to swim. I panic. I can't. And it all goes to the fact that if I have to stop and I can't put my feet down, ain't happening, right? so even when I swim, I do the graceful going through the water. I can float, but my head's got to be up. It never goes in the water. I'm swimming with my head up. Let's put it that way. So that's what I'm talking about. Past lives can creep into this one, and give you an idea that there was something going on here. I mean, if I didn't know about my past lives, I wouldn't have understood why I had this fear. Where, in this lifetime, I didn't experience possible drowning or anything like that. It was more the fact that it was the past life that was coming through that would influence, that would cause me all kinds of problems. So that's when I say, if we look at your past life, we can find out maybe a phobia that you're going through. Why did you have that phobia, right? You might even not say anything to me when I go through your past lives, but it comes out and you'll go, oh yeah, I do have that phobia. Well, now we know why. That it's reoccurring, which is causing you problems in this lifetime, is because of the past lives. I've had it where people have had experience with past loved ones, right? And they might have been in that past life and they're in this lifetime, right? And the dynamic that happened in that past life is causing a little conflict in this lifetime. And if we maybe do a session where we kind of help understand that part is over, that is not what is happening in this lifetime with that person, then you're able to move forward in a positive light. And it's not so bad. In fact, your relationships can actually be helped because you no longer have that negative feeling about someone when they never really did anything in this lifetime. You just automatically have this standoffish or a feeling that something's off, although you have a very fond, you might be in love with this person, but there's something that you can't shake and you're always having arguments. It could be from that past life. And we go ahead and correct it. Maybe we cut a cord with a bad memory. Maybe we, go through a little procedure that we just kind of go over the energetics of it to get rid of that so that you can move forward in a positive light in this one, right? With that specific person. So there's lots of benefits in having a past life review, regression, however you want to say it, because you are just getting that information to help you along in this lifetime. So what I wanted to do is for the collective, whatever time that you are watching this, this is for you at that specific time. If it resonates for you, if something feels right, then you know that you're watching it at the right time for you. So I know that you've probably heard from other readers or other people that say, if it doesn't resonate, then don't try to make it fit. That is correct. You don't want to do that. But a lot of times when you're drawn to something, there might be something in there for you. So you might take what you need, leave the rest, right? So right now I'm just going to kind of go, I like to use cards. And these are oracle cards. These are not tarot cards. And the reason why I do that is I'm not getting the information from the cards. What is happening is there's a energetic connection. It's a prop. It kind of gets the juices flowing, so to speak. So if I'm doing a regular reading or I'm doing, readings like this specifically, I do twin flame readings. I do these past life readings. There's lots of different readings that I do. I use the oracle cards to get the energy. And then I start getting the pictures, the information, the stuff starts flowing, right? So I kind of use this to get things started, and then it comes a lot easier. So we're going to go ahead, and for the collective, whoever's watching, I want you to just stay breathing and thinking about maybe a situation that you're having problems with a person, a place, a thing, something that's just that you really are trying to get a handle on. Health. All right. Look at that. So it looks like somebody is, for a few of you that are watching, I actually feel, okay, I'm getting that this person, male, is a doctor. And this doctor is, he seems to be in like a situation where there's a lot of destruction from a series of waves of infectious disease or something like that keeps it like they think it's getting cleared up and then it goes away, and they think it clears up and then it comes back. So it is this doctor in this so whoever is feeling this way or that is connecting with this, I feel that you were a doctor in a past life, that you were very, very good at it. The problem is that you felt this feeling that you couldn't do anything right at this moment. There was nothing you could do. You felt like you got a handle on it, and then it got away from you and it come back up. So this disease just kept coming back, in a pandemic or something like that just kept swimming in and coming back. And I'm not talking about COVID. This is way like I feel it kind of looks like the area that I'm at is like in the desert, almost like pioneer type days or something like that, because there's a lot of the ground is just lots of dirt, right? So dirt and dusty type of atmosphere, not green grasses, not today's setting. This is definitely, it feels kind of like pioneer um, days, cabins, different things like that, out in the prairie or something like that. But lots of dust, lots of um, ground. And the frustration that I feel from you or this person is that um, nothing I do is working. I have all these abilities, I have all these talents, I have all these, I've been trained to handle this, but it's just not working for me, right? So, so the frustration and the anxiety that I'm feeling from this person, hmm, I'm a medical intuitive too, and I'm really starting to feel like my throat is almost, I feel like there's lots of dust, right? When I was talking about all that dust, I'm feeling it. Um, almost almost uh like a sandstorm almost, right? And it just keeps flowing through or something. So there must have been something else going on there where it brought up a lot of dust, a lot of problems. And so, mm, yeah, I'm feeling that that is kind of what you're going through right now. The feeling of frustration, the feeling that I can't do anything right. It's just not working. So I'm gonna bring in my regular cards now. I'm gonna see if we can clarify that, get some more information on that. What's happening in that past life that is causing the feeling? Can you give me some more information? Wow. Okay. Yeah, fear. I got serious fear here. So there's lots of fear. Fear surrounding this whole situation. Um, Definitely because you can't get a handle on it. Um, the the look of devastation, the look of what do I do now? Right? The disbelief, the questioning, the pondering, just trying to figure it out, and it's just not nothing's clicking. It's just nothing clicking. And right behind that, I can't really show you this picture because it's nasty, but um, it's opening, right? So it's almost like I feel that it kind of opened up a can of worms because you were so confident before and you went through all of the procedures, you went through everything that you would normally do. And it was like clockwork, right? This is what I do. This is how I handle it. This is what I give them. This is, they feel better. I go about my day and I go to another place that needs me to do stuff, right? And with this situation, the mortality, you felt the mortality. You felt that it's way beyond what you can um, comprehend. That yes, you might have all the things that you need, but you can't always do the right thing. You can't always make things better. And that, so frustrating, so defeating is what I was feeling. And that's how I felt. He felt defeated, that nothing he did was helping. Nothing, he'd do something and it'd get better, and then he would come back again. So that was a hard thing for him to deal with, not just ego wise, but the feeling of seeing people that he thought he could help, he couldn't. So that's really, really strong. Is there anything else, Spirit, that is coming through? This one's sticking out, so I'm going to do this. Rhythms. Yeah, rhythms of life is what I heard from Spirit, right? Rhythms of life. You go through different stages in each part of your life, and there's a time to live and there's a time to die. There's what's that song I'm hearing? Uh, but it's more the fact that you have to understand that some things are out of your control, right? Um, God, the maker, the creator, it's, and it's time for somebody to go. It's their, um, it's between them and that person and their creator, right? Um, as an energy healer, um, I always tell people, we can, if I'm giving Reiki or if I'm giving healing energy, I will do the best that I can. And I've seen wonderful miracles, but you can't, um, you're not God. You can't definitely make things happen if it's not meant to be. And I feel that that is what was happening in that conscious mind with the gentleman that I was seeing in this past life, that realization. So I feel that maybe somebody was feeling something like that not too long ago, that they had to deal with it. And there's really nothing they could have done to stop anything from happening. And so when that gets so frustrating, right? That you feel defeated. And so that's kind of what I was feeling and picking up with this person, right? So as you can see, what happens is um, in a regular session, like I said, when I would do it, it'd be 2 to 3 different lifetimes that we would go into. And just like what I had done here, it would be like a movie that was playing so that I could get the information, and I would be telling exactly what was happening, and how the feelings that person felt and what they were experiencing in that lifetime. And that then helps you understand what's happening in this lifetime, and maybe help you understand what you're feeling, right? So that's kind of what I do. Now with the past lives too, when we look at past lives, um, some people believe it and some people don't. And that's okay. But you can't, there's many times where you could be somewhere and all of a sudden you have that deja vu moment, right? Where you've been here before, but you hadn't in this lifetime, or this person feels so familiar, but you can't put a finger on it because you never met them before. So those are little indications of past lives, right? Also, your energy is reflecting, right? So we're all connected in everything. Plants, animals, trees. I talk about universal energy and how we're all this spider web. Well, if you think of the spider web going through time and space, you can also think of this spider web going through dimensions, times, um, different places, um, different worlds. And so we're connected to that as well, that spider web, that energy, because we're souls. Remember, I told you at the beginning that our souls are who we are. Doesn't matter what we look like in this lifetime, the soul is going to be the same in all lifetimes. That's how you can recognize somebody else and it feels so familiar, is because that energy, that essence of that soul is who you are. And so in this lifetime, you meet somebody and you have that energy connection and that realization that you know them, that you feel them, that you connect with them so well. That's that thread, that spider web that I'm talking about, that has went through space and time, and it just kind of all gathers everything together. I think that's why I like Reiki so much, because it's really, you can call it whatever you'd like, right? It's really just universal energy that you're harnessing all around to send it in the direction where it needs to go. Well, this energy can go through space and time. That's why I was telling you that maybe you need to heal something in a previous lifetime. Sending that positive, loving energy to that past life, which we can do because remember what I said, we kind of are on different time lengths at the same time. It's kind of a mind blower, but you can go backwards, forwards in existence, and you can move through timelines and time and space. Um, so, sending healing energy to a situation that happened in a past life can help you in this lifetime. So, that's kind of what we talk about when we say we can help. We send that positive energy. Um, and just like anything else, if you do not accept it, if you do not believe in it, it ain't going to help you. So it's one of those things you have to just kind of go in faith and realize, hey, you know what? This is going to help me. Sending information, sending energy to this lifetime that is causing all kinds of problems is going to help me in this lifetime. So, and then you kind of leave and go about your business and do what you need to do in a better light. At the least, you'll know why you're feeling the way you're feeling, and it make you feel, well, I'm not crazy now. I understand why. Why is one of those things that I always want to know. I always want to know why something happened or why we're doing something, because it's the understanding that puts it in perspective. If somebody just tells you something and you don't know why something is happening, you're like, okay, great. But once you know why, it brings it into reality. It brings it real for you. And that's what I always try to do on everything, is to get to the why of things. So, as you can see, scrolling across the board here, you can actually, with HipC, you can actually book a reading while I'm doing these live shows. So if you are not at this live show and you're watching at a different time, and this is not live, it's replaying, know that when I have another one, you'll be able to do the exact same thing. You'll be able to either also go to the HipC and put in for a live reading before the show even starts. And then you'll kind of be locked in so that when I come on and I start doing live readings, you'll be the first one or pretty close to the first one to have your question answered or your reading done live right here while we're doing it. So it's pretty cool. I like that. Also, I wanted to let you know, I'm going to stop that one. I'm going to bring out starcodeascension.com. That is my website. If you would like to go to my website, go to book readings online, you're going to see where I'm at for live readings, how to get me for that. You can do Zoom readings, you can do phone readings, all the different events that I'm going to, fairs and different things that I'm doing. I'll be in August, I'll be actually going to Lilydale. So I'm doing a 3-hour workshop there. So I've got lots of things going on. And if you go to the events tab at my website, you'll be able to see those. So lots of things to do and lots of ways that you can connect with me to get readings and to keep up to date on what I'm doing. So that's pretty cool. All right. So just wanted to once again tell you how that worked. And we are going to stop this recording today. And I will be back very soon. And we're going to do another topic. And we're going to do more readings. And I'm also going to do some taped readings as well so that you can have that handy. And I will see you soon. Blessings.